This presentation is focused on how to create a window air heater in 10 easy steps, and this particular presentation I used spare parts I had in my garage. Step one was to basically take inventory. So what I had used was some old wooden sash window frames, actually windows themselves, some spare copper pipe, sheet metal, some fittings, and then I had some black paint. Here you can see just another view, and the paint that I used was a high heat version that was a flat black that I had found in my garage from an old project for painting a barbecue. Step two was really to cut the sheet metal to fit within the window frame, and you can see there was a little long, so I just used some basic tin snips to cut it to size. And step three, I painted the sheet metal with the flat black paint, and then let it dry for 15-20 minutes. Step four, which was the most time consuming, was really to fit the copper and then fit it together so that that was within the window frame, and I had to cut it with just a tube cutter, and you can see that I started to cut the pieces and then start to fit the elbows and the T's together, so that it made a circulating air within the tubing. Here's just another shot as I started to fit some more together, and again another shot as it started to come together. Now once the copper was all fitted together, what I wanted to do was notch out the window frame so part of the copper would have input and exit holes sticking out of the frame. So I used just a portable circular saw and cut the edges off there so that I could start to notch that out. On the top left there, you can see I actually notched out the pieces that would actually fit the copper. You can see in the right picture there, the copper actually sits very nicely inside there. I did the same thing to the upper frame, where I notched out the same mirror image, I guess, so that they would fit together flush. And you can see the two pieces of copper coming out of the top of the unit. One could be an entry point, one could be an exit point. Here's another view of the copper pieces sticking out as the two pieces of two window frames are put together. And I just made sure that they laid flat so that there was minimal gaps between the two frames. And then I just screwed them together using just normal drywall screws. And I put in here a thermometer to measure the performance. And you can see that inside there it was a little over 70 degrees. Now on the left hand side there you can see that the me holding the thermometer, and it was about 72 degrees or so, and then I put it inside the frame just to kind of test it out to see how it would look. And you can see it in the middle picture you can see it's pretty cloudy still, but I was able to get the unit up to almost 100 degrees with just a cloudy day and a little bit of sunshine peeking through to increase the temperature. Then I started to seal the edges with caulking just to restrict any airflow leaving the internal unit. So I want to keep the heat in where it's supposed to be. And then step 10 is the finished unit with all the copper pieces together, the sheet metal in place, and you can see I put in the thermometer on the other side. And what I'm going to be testing is to see if the heat transfer from the front of the unit back into the area where the actual copper pipe is going to be, and how well that performs. As a next step, based on that measurement, I might just paint the whole unit on the inside black to help the transfer of heat from the front part of the unit to the back. This concludes this session on how to create a window air heater in 10 easy steps using spare parts from your garage.